Hello, fuckos. Hey guys, how's it going? You alright? Welcome to episode 5 now of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. How you doing? You had a good week? You had a good week over there? I've not been super busy. A bit of a nice weekend though. But I did that competition, you know, the one I've been talking about the past few weeks. Good news, folks. I came in a solid 3rd out of 3. Killing it, folks. It was actually out of 4, but one of the guys left before the votes were counted, so it didn't count. So I got 3rd place. Go me. I'm pretty proud of my accomplishment. I didn't get a trophy, so I've got to say I feel pretty fucking robbed. You know what I mean? I feel like 3rd place deserves something, at least maybe a pat on the back. I don't know. No, I'm joking. It was a good night though. Roland Gent won it, so that was nice. And it was great to get to see Alex again. I like performing with Alex and Adam as well. And it's funny because Adam didn't win. He got 2nd, but he actually is in the world finals tonight for Beat the Frog. So good luck to you, Adam. I hope it went well. I'm recording this on Monday, so you know I don't know how it's gone yet. So let's see what happens with that. Hopefully he gets it. He's a funny guy. He's quite a niche act, shall we say? But if you get it, and that's fine. But yeah, speaking of niche things, right? You won't believe what I saw before. I was driving home from work, and I saw a car that straight away threw me back to like the late 90s, early 2000s. Right? I don't know what kind of car it was, but it was a proper, like, it had been souped up in, like, you know, that boy racery way of somebody who owned Need for Speed Underground 2 and the GameCube would call a cool car. Which, you know, I kind of would a little bit. But this car was driving along, right? And it was white and it had fancy decals on the side. And underneath it, it had the neon glow. Right? When was the last time you saw like a full-on Tokyo Drift neon glow? And not only that, this neon glow, it wasn't one colour. Oh, no. It flicked between colours like some sort of, you know, fancy gaming PC. It's like a fucking driving disco ball. It was awesome. But straight away, yeah, I saw that and I was like, Jesus Christ, what year is this? Because I've not seen that in easily 10 years. Fucking easily. That's what? That's 2007 was 10 years ago. Oh my God. I just had a moment of realisation of how old I am and how short life is. Oh shit, that's not good. I'm having palpitations. Nah, it's alright. But yeah, the weekend was good. I went to a Halloween party, which was nice. Halloween party in November. That is a first for me. And I enjoyed it. It was really good. I got to see people that I used to work with. And I severely miss. So that was really nice. And people made good efforts. Everyone had to come. It was mandatory to come in costume, which people did. One person, like one of my mates, came as a Twitch streamer, which was awesome. He walked in and he had like his checkered shirt on and a cap, and he had like a green screen on a pole stuck down the back of his shirt, so it was behind his head, and he had his headphones on. It was really good. I loved it. Like he's in a little thumbnail. And there was also one of the guys came as Jesus. Committed, no shoes or socks or nothing. He just came as Jesus, full on Buddy Christ, and he got properly leathered. But it's quite funny because I was sat in the living room playing the Xbox I was playing Left 4 Dead on the Xbox, you know, the zombie shooting game, and I'm playing that with Jesus. It's a surreal moment when drunk Jesus is like, "Die, you cunt, die! I'm the only zombie that's allowed." It was funny though. It was a great time. I really enjoyed that. But hopefully I get to do that again soon because it was great. And I've been playing some games this week. For those of you into video games, I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yeah, I play it every now and again, but I had a big break, and I'm not good at that game. I'm really not. But I do stream it every now and again, so you know, on Twitch. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a bit of practice in this week rather than just stream it live and play it then. Because if you think about it, right, if I stream for 2 hours a week and then I only play it on the streams, I'm only going to get like 10 hours gameplay in 5 weeks. Whereas if I practice on the weekend or whatever, boom, extra time. I'm going to get better, bitch. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. I've been playing that, and I've got to say I'm getting good. But I was robbed. Oh, I was robbed. Right? I was on a match, and I was doing really well. For those of you who don't know what Battlegrounds is, basically, if you've ever seen the film Battle Royale, that amazing Japanese film, right, it was basically that. You get dropped on an island, and there's 100 of you, right, and it's a last man alive. You get dropped with nothing. All you can use is what you can find. So you might find guns, you might find a frying pan, you know, you might find a cap. It depends. But whatever you find, you can use. And I was doing so well. I had everything cool. I had cool scopes. I had cool guns and whatnot. And I got down to 6 people left, and some guy saw me in a corner, right? And he started shooting at me. I was like, "Fuck you, dude!" So I shot at him, and then I hid behind like this garage. And it was really cool because I had this little like 2 foot gap that I was hiding in, and I knew nobody could see me, but I could see them. I was like, oh, you come and get me, bitch. I'm going to kill you. I'm a gitch. I'm a gitch. And then, before I know it, I heard a little ping, 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 ping. I was like, you motherfucker. And I died. Because somebody had thrown a grenade in the garage that I was hiding behind. Right? It didn't damage the garage, but it did damage me. So I call bullshit. I feel I got blue hole in that one. God damn you guys. But it's a great game though. If you've not played it yet, I highly recommend it. I think it might be on sale at the moment. It's in early access, which means it's not technically finished, but they let you play it, and then when it is finished, obviously you'll get the full thing. But it's good, great game, and it's kind of like a global phenomenon at the moment. I mean, it's got something daft like 25 million players or something. It's madness. But yeah, what else has been going on this week? Oh, did you see the new? It's finally happened, the new Samsung advert. I love it. Right, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, there's a new advert that Samsung have done, and it's basically just ripping the piss out of Apple, saying 2007 the Apple phone came out or whatever, and then it's skip ahead. It's like 2017, and there's a guy there with his 1 year old model, and he's got all these adapters plugged into it because the old plugs don't work anymore without the adapters, and then it shows his girlfriend, and she's got her Samsung just charging on a nice little wireless charger stand, and she drops it in water, it's fine. He drops his in water, it's in rice. The whole thing, and it was great because by the end, obviously, he switched to Samsung. Because you might have noticed, I prefer Samsung to Apple. I'm not just being a fanboy. I genuinely think Apple are rip-off merchants, and we'll get more to that in a second. But for now, this advert reminded me of. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if not, give it a watch. Right? There's a video. It's an advert from, I think it's probably from the 90s or maybe even the 80s, back when, companies used to go full-on head-to-head, like KFC versus Burger King and Coke versus Pepsi. And they'd be direct about it. There was none of this sort of subtle bullshit. And there was an advert where there was a kid, and he's in, I think, if I remember right, it's like some sort of, deserty petrol station or something. And he's like, oh, he's thirsty, and he goes to the vending machine, and he buys a Coke, and then he buys another Coke. Like, man, this kid's thirsty. But then he puts both of them down and steps on them so that he can reach the Pepsi button. And I thought that's fucking brilliant. That's one of my favourite adverts in the world. The sheer savagery of, look at this, I'm going to buy your product, just as literally step all over it to buy a superior product. It's fantastic. And I kind of wish there was more adverts like that. Obviously these days you can be a bit more tongue-in-cheek about it, a bit more jovial, a bit happier about it. But yeah, we need more happiness in the world. I mean, fuck, did you see about the thing in Texas, right? It happened yesterday or today. Fuck, some absolute fucking neckbeard cunt face went into a church in Texas and shot dead 26 people. Right? The youngest one was 18 months old. What sort of motherfucker? I bet he was pro-life, ironically. But what sort of motherfucker does that? I mean, it's who? Right? Why have they? Hang on a second. I'm getting confused by this. Right? I know Donald Trump was saying oh, it's not a gun problem, it's a mental health problem. But who the fuck sells somebody that kind of gun if they got any kind of inkling of mental health problems? You know what I mean? Why is there no sort of screening process? Apparently the guy didn't have a license. How the fuck did he get that gun? But I'm just, what annoys me the most, obviously not the most because people are dead, but I mean what annoys me about this kind of situation is I know it's only a matter of time before some absolute shit sniff in the press will start blaming this on video games. Because, of course, everything's the fault of video games. Remember all those video games that we had during the Crusades and during the Spanish Inquisition? They were all video game based, So many people died. Hitler used to fucking love Pong. No, it's not right. Everything tends to get linked to video games and violence and films and all that kind of stuff. And it's not the case. Books have been around forever with this kind of fucked up content. I mean, look at the Bible. Fuck me, that's a gritty story. If you ever read it, it's not a pleasant read. There's lots of weird shit in that book. And people do weird shit because of it. So maybe I haven't got a point, Maybe it is video games' fault. What do I know? It's not, by the way. Just to clarify, it's not the fault of video games. But yeah, there's some proper scummers out there. But also, I don't know how I've missed this. Maybe I've just been under a rock or something. But I keep hearing stuff about Kevin Spacey, and I'm not really sure what's going on. So I just did a quick look around then, and it looks like he's been accused of sort of some sexual assault type stuff, like Weinstein style, and by the looks of it, people have gone to him, I was sexually assaulted by Kevin Spacey. And he's gone, hey press, boom, I'm gay. Rainbow powers, activate. The power of Elton compels you. The power of Elton compels you. It doesn't work that way, Kevin. Kevin, fucking hell. It just sounds stupid saying that. It don't work that way, Kevin. How can you just suddenly... I mean, there's a time and a place, If you're going to come out, fair enough, whatever, good on you. it doesn't really matter either way. But why would you pick that moment? You know what I mean? It's not exactly the most appropriate of times when you're accused of sexual assault. You're like, no, it's fine, I'm gay. That's what we do, right? No, Kevin, it's not. I should say alleged. I don't know if any of this is true or not. Like I said, I've just found out myself because I've been under a rock. Because that's where I live, apparently, which explains a lot about how I look and my pale appearance. Also, today there was this massive leak, this Paradise Papers offshore leak, they're calling it. Right, and apparently, right, this might sound a bit controversial, but I'm okay with sort of tax breaks and whatnot. Like you've earned your money, you do what you want with it, but just try and be responsible. You know what I mean? Like, if I know, for example, like every year I get that letter through the post, like everybody else in this country does, and it says you've paid this much this year in tax, and here's what it was spent on, and you turn it around, and it's always like, boom, benefits, blah blah, blah blah, stuff I don't care about, like things that I don't want my money being spent on. So part of me is okay with, offloading some of your shit, but not all of it. But apparently there's a whole load of corporations and people who've been sending metric fuck tons of money to offshore accounts to try and avoid tax and VAT. And I think that is a shitter. Don't do it with all your money. I think it's okay to have investments. Have things that can generate you money or whatever, but not in a full-on shifty like this shit. So let's see what we've got here. Apparently, one of the worst ones. Let's see this. There's 13.4 million documents have been leaked, right? So obviously that's going to take a bit of time to sift through, but so far there's some real fucking shit coming through. Like for example, Apple, the way I said earlier, they're not a great company. They've got like this, they call it a secret tax bolt hole, which I keep reading as butthole because my mind is a 5-year-old's mind and I can't help that. So yeah, they've got a secret tax bolt hole in Jersey of all places, and apparently they have shipped off $252 million to try and avoid tax on it. I mean, fuck me, that is a lot of money. If you got like 100 quid and 20 quid of that's tax, right? Just imagine how much tax you've been avoiding with $252 billion. Oh shit, it's billion? I said million. It's billion? That's even more. Well done, Chico, you fucking smart ass. But you get the idea. But yeah, I mean, it's bad enough that Apple have got people jumping to their death so they're not going to make any more of their shitty phones. Can't you just pay them people the money you're sending offshore? You're not notice it's missing. And now it's definitely going to go missing. Just wait. I guarantee you, the Steve Jobs Foundation or whatever is going to open, if there isn't already one. And it's going to be something that's going to help the needy and give them lots of positive PR. And for a fact that bullshit is only happening to try and paste over these scars, try and fill up the cracks with the goodness. I mean, let's see, who else has been doing this shit? Lewis Hamilton, apparently. Right? He avoided tax on his £16.5 million luxury jet. I mean, really, come on, man. If you're going to afford a fucking ridiculous luxury jet, by the way, fuck you for having a luxury jet, you ozone-killing motherfucker. But, how can you go avoiding that much tax on it? And apparently there's something that Bono's been in. Like, fair enough, okay, apparently Bono's got nothing to actually do with it. He's like a passive investor, but he's got there's a Lithuanian shopping mall that's currently under investigation. And apparently he's like a passive investor. He's got no idea what's going on with it. So he's disappointed to think that there might be avoiding tax, because apparently he's been pushing for the press to say shit about it for ages, about tax avoidance and stuff like that. But I just think, man, fucking hell, what the hell brought Bono to invest in a Lithuanian shopping mall? I reckon he just sat with the lads one day at rehearsal like, hey lads, I want to go and invest in a shopping mall in Lithuania. By the way, sorry for the accent, I don't know it. He's Irish, right? Somewhere up there. Sorry, Irish folks, I know. It's terrible, but I don't care because it's improv, innit? So yeah, that would have been a funny conversation to hear, though, I think. And then also more Irish folks. What is it with you people? Not racist. Mrs. Brown's Boys, the blokes from that apparently been sending £2 million to offshore accounts. And I might have been under a rock here, but I did not know that Mrs. Brown Boys was that successful. How can you have $2 million just stored away from what you earned with doing that? Like, was it that big a show? Is it still on? I don't know. I didn't like it, so I didn't sort of pay attention to it. But I know that I think they had like a live tour thing, but I didn't think it was that big. But maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, I've never made $2 million. I can just nip away around the corner. So good on them. But at the same time, kind of a fuck up, But I don't know what I'm talking about. I earn fuck all in comparison to these people, so what can I talk about? Apparently, also, speaking of people earning money that we don't know about, old Queenie Poo, old Madge, lady granny chairwoman, she apparently has got 10 million quid of her private money offshore. Now, hang on a minute, like, can I just say, the Queen's got private money? Like, what? Does she nip to Tesco? I mean, has the Queen even got a card or a bank account? I don't get this, right? So, surely the Queen has everything done for her, so those people would have the money and whatever, wouldn't? Right? Am I wrong in thinking this? I don't understand how the Queen's finances would work. But also, why would she need to store it away offshore? You know, like, surely the idea, like, I might just be getting old school here, but surely, like, kings and queens, their money would all be in gold, and it'd all be in their basement underneath the castle that they live in, right? Is that not how it works, being a king and a queen? Because I tell you, if I was a king, I would sure as shit have a full-on Scrooge McDuck pool of gold underneath my house. And yes, I'd try and swim in it and break my nose, but damn it, it would be there for me to try that, and it'd be my prerogative to try it, because that's what I want to do. I mean, it'd be so cool. Can you imagine that? If you, like, just imagine for a second that the coins wouldn't just destroy your bones on impact. Imagine you could just flow through them like liquid. Oh, the bliss. Pennies left, right, and centre. The occasional £2 coin. You go, fuck me, that's a good one. You know, that would be. What? Oh, fuck. I'm waffling now because I'm thinking about money, and it's weirdly making me hungry. But anyway, yeah. So today, this week's. Let's see what we're on to now. This week's Japanese word of the week, folks, because I've been rambling for 15 minutes already. 16 and a half, but you don't care. Yeah, Japanese word of the week. Today, I'm going to go with chin chin. That's right, folks, chin chin. That means dick. It's one of the words for dick in Japan. Now, it's not a particularly funny word in itself, chin chin, but when you remember that something we're taught as kids, mind you, is the Three Little Pigs, right? You know my favourite bit? My favourite bit has now been ruined by the fact that I know that chin chin means dick in Japanese. Because if you remember, folks, join in if you remember, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. That's right, folks. We've been teaching our kids to sing, not by the hairs on my dicky dick dick. How fucking unfortunate is that? Some things do just get lost in translation. It can't be helped, but it happens, you know? And I like it when it happens. It makes me feel warm and happy inside. Right, this week's podcast recommendation. I'm going for the big leagues this week, folks. This week, I'm recommending the podcast that inspired me to do my podcast. The podcast that inspired me to do stand-up in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast. That thing is a thing of beauty. How Bill does what he does, I don't fully understand. But he does it in, like, I'm inspired by him, so I do it in his style. Of just this. Just, I sit down, do a monologue, save it, send it out to you folks. There's no fancy frills. There's just me chatting away for a bit, yammering on about shit you probably don't care about. And he does the same thing, except he's a bit more interesting because he's been in the industry for like 25 years. And I've been in it for a matter of months. But still, I'm trying, you know. So over time, it's good because every Thursday he does a Thursday afternoon just before Friday Monday morning podcast, which is a bit of a mouthful. And what he does there, he does half an hour of new stuff, like, you know, just like this, half an hour of just chatting away, and then he'll have sort of best bits from years gone by. So at the moment, it's mostly stuff from like 2009, and it's so cool because you can hear the quality change in the podcast. You know, and I'm really hoping that in 10 years I will still be doing this and the quality will be at Bill's current quality, you know, and that'd be great. And the only way I can do that is with people giving feedback and whatever, you know, and giving questions and things. And oh shit, I should have done a question today. Oh man, hang on, let's see if we've got any questions. Hang on a second. Hang on, question time. Hang on a second. Okay, here we go. I've got the question ready. So this week's question is: how do I stop my housemate from being afraid of taking out the rubbish? Says, my housemate has a weird phobia of taking out rubbish, which forces me to clean it up after them, even when I haven't been in the house for weeks. Well, that's pretty fucking unfair, isn't it? So I say, what you should do, right? So your housemate's got a weird phobia about taking the rubbish out. Well, is that like a germaphobe thing, or is it going outside thing? Because I don't. I say, right, what you should do. First things first. Tape over the bin, right? So you can't actually put anything in it. The only way to put rubbish out is to go outside. Right, so what you should do, gradually start leaving bits of rubbish in their bed so that every time they go home from work They go to the bedroom to get changed and they're like, oh fuck, there's some rubbish on my bed. And then they have to take it downstairs to the big bin outside, where the big people live. And then keep doing this until they get the fucking idea. And then eventually say, hey, you taking all that rubbish out yet? If not, why the fuck not? Because this bin is staying duct tape shut until your ass is being sensible and taking the bins out, like you have been doing gradually over the past week. Because it's not fair, you know, you can't, if you live with somebody, they've got to pull the weight. And I understand people have got phobias and whatnot. You can work through them though, you know, or you can compromise. How about they gather the rubbish and you take it outside, but they've gathered it in a nice bag for you by the front door, you know? There could be some sort of compromise like that. I'm not really sure, but give it a go, you know, see what works. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, for those of you who do want to let me know how stuff goes and want to get in touch and whatnot, you can, what can you do? You can do me a massive solid. You could review and subscribe on iTunes if you would. That'd be fucking awesome. Because like I said in the past, I can't see analytics on iTunes. I don't know how many people listen. So if you drop me a review or a sub, that's some sort of notification that someone's listening and not just jamming to myself like a crazy in my study. And also, if you do want to get in touch or let me know how the rubbish thing went, you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Chris Hunter Comedy, or you can go to my Twitter, which is @ChrisHunterCom. Also, for those of you who know or who don't know, either, both of you, all of you, I also am part of a video game streaming thing called LPG Tube. So I stream on Twitch on Thursdays and Saturdays. And the lovely Charlie, who is my partner, and she also does the channel with me, she streams on Tuesdays and joins me on Saturdays. So come watch us if you get a chance. So yeah, thanks a lot for listening, guys. It's been a bit of a long one today, but I appreciate the hanging in there. Love to you all, and have a good evening. Night night, bye bye. Night night, bye bye. Night night, bye bye.